Hello, how are you? I'm sorry, let me just figure this out. I swear every time I go live they change something. Okay, I think this is good. Alright, there we go. This is good. Okay. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I'm going live for Self Care Sunday. Yes, I know it's not Sunday. Um, I had family visiting yesterday, my daughter, and so I decided to go live today instead. And I wanted to share a little story with you that I'm pretty sure I saw this on, it might have been TikTok, okay? Since I am a TikTok addict. Yes, I have a little bit of a problem, but I've been trying to control it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I think a lot of people are really funny on TikTok, so I enjoy it a lot. Um, anyway, for those of you who don't know me, if there's anybody new here, um, just let me know by making a comment in the group. I know I'm live in two groups right now, so just you could send me a DM or just let me know if you're new in the group. My name's Tina Stinson, and I am a certified holistic health coach, professional life coach, and I specialize in deep level self care. Help you guys to reduce stress and anxiety and overwhelm, and also I do this all while helping you create balance and flow in your life, and also help create your most unbelievable best life that you can possibly create. So in this video, I'm sharing this story because it was such a cool story, and I'm probably going to mess it up a little bit because I just watched it quick on TikTok, which is usually happening late at night. I don't know why I do that late at night. But it was such a good story, and it reminded me of something, a few things, the next lesson that I'm teaching in one of my programs. So it's just a really good message. So it was called the Dishwasher Story. And um, so, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it completely right. Now, some of you might have heard the story before. Maybe it's something that's going around. So if I screw it up, I apologize. I wish I could give credit to the woman who told it, but it was just like a random thing I saw. Anyway, so this woman was suffering from like stress and anxiety, and she was going to her therapist. And when she went to her therapist, the therapist asked her, so what's really bothering you right now? And she was thinking about it, and she's like, oh, I don't know. And she was kind of reluctant to open up to him. And then he asked her again, so what's bothering you? What's stressing you out? What's, you know, giving you the most crap right now? And she felt really, uncomfortable saying her answer because basically what it was her dishes. She was just like, my dishes are stressing me out. I never do them. They're just piling up. I see them. It just stresses me out. She's like, she feels ridiculous because so many people have such serious problems and are dealing with so much more. She feels ridiculous that how this one thing bothers her. But we all like can relate to that, right? Like that's when I was watching this, I was like, yes, dishes bug the shit out of me, and I hate doing them. So it's like the one thing that I struggle with. And if they're in the sink in the morning, I hate it. And so it just becomes more and more overwhelming as it sits because then the food's drying on it, and then it's harder to wash. And then if she puts it in her dishwasher, it doesn't work. Her dishwasher doesn't work that well, and then all the food's dried on, and it doesn't really work anyway. And so the therapist says to her, well, just run the dishwasher twice. And she was like, well, you're not supposed to do that. And he's like, says who? He was like, there's nobody watching you. No one's setting any rules. He was like, says who? You know? So she kind of like really embraced this. And she went home and she threw everything in the dishwasher and she ran it not just twice, but three times, and they were clean. And nobody said anything to her, so it wasn't a big deal. And that was the point that the therapist was trying to make. But it wasn't just that point, because from that point on, she not only did that, but then like when her laundry started to build up, she would put it away. Like, and after she washed it, she wouldn't like fold it or anything. She would just stuff it in her drawers. She just didn't want to see it. So she was kind of like decluttering her space because clutter like creates stress. And it creates like a stress loop because it's always there and you're always seeing it and then you're always thinking. So you have like this voice in your head saying, oh my God, the laundry's still there. I should do that. Why didn't I do that yet? I'm such a loser. Why didn't I do that? And then the same thing with the dishes. And then so you're beating yourself up and it's just continuously bringing your energy and your vibe down, you know? So you're just kind of going into this like negative stress loop. So, and then she said doing this, like by removing that declutter, and that's not what she called it, but by removing the laundry and removing the dishes, um, slowly but surely she started sleeping better. And then when she started sleeping better, she started actually just doing her dishes normally. She started folding her laundry and putting it away. And just as she felt better, she was able to do more and able to function better. And so the takeaways from the story, I thought they were really powerful, and I thought it was a really good story. But the takeaways is nothing has to be perfect, okay? But you need to give yourself some relief and give yourself some relief from the overwhelm, okay? You need to give yourself relief. So what is the easiest way to give yourself relief, okay? And if that way is something that's not acceptable to society or whoever makes these bullshit rules, I always go like that because they are bullshit rules. I mean, if you think about it, who's really making these rules? Like, who was the first one who said you couldn't run your dishwasher twice? Who is who says that this is how you need to look? Who says all the who is it? Who is they? We always say they. Who is that? So I'm just going to remind you that the only one that makes the rules in your life is yourself. And everybody else could just mind their own business. And the same goes for you. Like when somebody else is doing something and you're like, well, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Well, says who? So it's like, you know, we should all mind our own business, right? And so this kind of removes removes that stress loop and it gives you that break that you need. All right. So what are the rules that you're following that are stressing you the fuck out? What are those rules that are, you know, adding more stress to your life? What can you do that can release you from that? What new rules can you make? So she made new rules. She was like, I'm just going to throw all those dishes into the dishwasher. I'm not going to rinse all the food off of them. I'm just going to throw it in and I'm going to run it 3 times. And then I'm not going to fold my laundry. I don't have time to fold my laundry. I'm too stressed out. I'm too depressed. I'm too this. I'm too that. So she just stuffed it in the drawers and she gave herself that space to not have to look at that, to not have that stress loop going around and around in her head. So she created that space for herself to give her a little bit more time to heal and relax and rest. And then she was able to start doing it the way she wanted to do it, okay? Or the way she thought she wanted to do it. Or maybe she never did it the right way ever again. Maybe she just cleaned her. I mean, I know people who do that. Like, some people match all their socks up and fold them together, and some people just throw all their socks into one drawer. These are just different types of people. So, what works for you to remove that declutter from your eye space, from your personal space, from your head space, and create that space that you need to heal, to remove that overwhelm from your life? So, um, in lesson 2 in my program Aligned and Worthy, which is the deep level self-care boot camp, this is what I teach. It's I call it finding decluttering your mind, space, and processes. And so like your mind is like removing all that clutter that goes around your mind, those stress loops, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, oh, I have to call the bank, I have to do that. Learning how to remove those things from your life so that you don't have those looping in your head. All these things drain our energy. They suck the life out of you. And the same thing with your personal space, like your actual physical space. And that's why decluttering stuff feels so good. Okay, it's really simple for us to do. We don't have to go like deep into our soul to do it. It's just a matter of cleaning up crap and getting rid of it. So it's like one of the easiest ways to like declutter and de-stress, right? So cleaning that physical space, which had a lot to do with what she was doing with the dishes and the dishwasher and her laundry. It created, that was just enough. That one little step that she took was just enough to reduce stress, anxiety, to get her out of the overwhelm, get her out of that, burnout overwhelm loop. So that's all she needed. So, and then I talk about your processes, which is Very, very functional for people that are in business because you have like a standard operating procedure. How can you make that procedure easier, less stressful, less work for you so that it works more smoothly in your life? You create more time in your life and less stress. So the less stress you have, the more energy you have. So all of these things, these three ways to declutter your mind, space, and processes work together to create more space and time for yourself and reduce stress, and in turn that removes you from that overwhelm and burnout loop. Okay, so um, I do teach this in. I have a master class that I sell where I teach this. That's only like, I think it's like $100. I can't remember. But I also go deep into this in my Aligned and Worthy program, which has 10 different lessons like this. And I'm selling this right now, and I'm kind of launching it right now because I'm doing the live coaching. So, what's so cool about this program is you buy it once, you have lifetime access to all of the work that's already in there and anything that's added to it. So, any improvements and any bonuses that are added to it, you have access to. But you also have access every time I launch it. I go live for there's 10 lessons, so it's about 10 weeks. So once a week, I go live in our Facebook group and I go over one of the lessons and then I answer any questions that you have. And this is so that I know that you can have success with these practices because while I would love to coach everyone one on one, I can't do that. So, what this does is this program helps you reduce stress, anxiety, and overwhelm and create your unbelievable life that you want to live in a state of flow and relaxation, not in not in a state of like hustle and stress. And so um, my biggest like thing with this program is to give you what I didn't have when I was going through all that stress and I had that stroke that I talk about. And I had to learn how to do all these things over like a 10-year period. This gives it to you all at once, and I support you throughout your journey as long as needed for you. So as long as this program is available online, which will be a long time because I love doing this program. It's one of my favorite things. As long as it's available, you have the support. So you have that one-on-one coaching with me on the Facebook, and you can ask any questions when I'm coaching live. You could either post it, you can email it, so you have the support that is needed. So some of the topics I cover, I'm going to look at my list. Okay, I'm going to go in order. So I start with the self-care masterclass that I'm promoting right now, which is free, which is going to be only free until Wednesday. So grab it now. It's pre-recorded. You can grab it now and watch it whatever you want. Because after Wednesday, it's going to be $111. And that's like one of the first steps in the Aligned and Worthy program. So you'll get a little bit of a taste of kind of what that program, how that starts out. Then we go into decluttering the mind, space, and processes. And I'm going live this Wednesday uh, in the Facebook group teaching that. So if you want to get into that live coaching for decluttering your mind, space, and processes, purchase the program before Wednesday, although you could watch the replays too. So if you can't be at the live coaching it's at 10 a.m. Eastern, you can watch the replay, but you can still ask questions. You just can email them to me. Then I go into food as your healer, which is kind of like a lot of information, but it's a great lesson. Self-love, okay, that's a big deal. Self-love, raising your vibration, which is all about energy. Connecting with your intuition, also a little bit about energy, really good one. Reframing your growth mindset. This is about, I keep looking over there because I have my list on the wall. Um, Reframing your growth mindset is really about um, just reframing your mindset into a more of a positive and how to take every setback or failure as just a lesson. There's no such thing as setbacks or failures. It's more about lessons and redirection. Um, Finding your personal de-stressors. This is a big one because everybody gets stress relief differently, and so there's so many different ways to do this and finding which one works for which mood. So like when you're angry, sad, or anxious, different things work for those three different things. Setting and maintaining boundaries. Now, this is so important. Boundaries is kind of like the foundation of self care. So, this is a really, really important lesson, and I might spend more than 1 week on that one. Daily gratitude practice, very important, very powerful. Something that's really simple, not always easy to do, but something that's really simple. But one of the easiest ways to improve your life is just being grateful for something every day, but not just like writing it out or saying it, but like really feeling into that. And I might be adding a new lesson this year, so it'll go up to like 11, and that's going to be on forgiveness. So that might be something that I'm doing live on Facebook and then putting that into the new program. So you will have access to that. And so I'm done talking about that program. It's really important for me to get it out there. I hope that this little story was really helpful to you. Sometimes it's the smallest things that we do that can get us out of that overwhelm loop. It's like this loop that you get stuck in, or like you can even like call it like a hamster wheel. And just getting out of that loop or off the hamster wheel, just having one small thing that can do that for us is huge, because once we get out of that, we can start to rest, we can start to improve our lives, we can start doing things that we love. And so that's why I loved this story so much. It was such a great story. And God, I wish I would have saved it on my TikTok, because I would have shared it with you. It was so great. That's it for today. I will be live next week. I'm probably going to be going into like something with food, because that's what I'm going to be covering inside the Aligned and Worthy boot camp. I will put a link to that free masterclass that I talked about, which is like your starting point. It's like your jumping off point. I call it the GPS to your life, because it like really plugs in where you want to go. So that's free until the 15th, which is Wednesday, I believe. So I'll put the link for that, grab that. And then also I'll put the link for Aligned and Worthy, the boot camp, and you can sign up for that. Now, I added the live coaching and the Q&As, but I did not increase the price. Okay. Next year I'm increasing the price, because it's really time consuming for me. I'm going live every week and coaching and answering emails for 10, now it's going to be 11 weeks. And so the price will go up. So if you grab it now at the lower price point, you have access to it for life. So definitely grab it now. Um, okay, that's it for today. I hope this was really helpful to you and helps you get out of that overwhelm burnout loop. If you have any questions, post them below, or you could direct message me. That would be fine. Just make sure to like tag me if you post it below. I don't always see it, so eventually I check and I see it in there. So definitely tag me. Okay, I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.